What's this great money-saving secret? Wait, that's not really fair. Welcome to another fine edition of Life on the Moose. And welcome back if you've been here before. If I told you you could save 75% on cedar for trimming out windows, for example, you'd say, okay, tell me more. What's this great money-saving secret? A fence board. A cedar fence board. About 1/3 the price of putting regular 1x fascia up. I've been doing this for about 3 years. This is my 3rd or 4th building. I've been using cedar fence boards to trim out windows. A couple of reasons why it's more inexpensive. One, they don't finish either side. Neither side is smooth. But I don't care. I always put the rough side out anyway. So that doesn't matter to me. Another reason why, the thickness. This is only about 5/8 of an inch thick. 5/8. Typical cedar used for fascia, stuff like that, just over 3/4 of an inch thick. So for 3 times as much money, you can get an extra 1/8 inch of cedar. Doesn't make much sense to me. The thickness of that cedar is not going to be its failing point. I am convinced, especially once I get some sealant on it and whatnot. So that's going to go up around the windows. I am going to use the thicker typical fascia for the corners of the building because the edges are exposed, and I just think it's a little bit more material there for the corners where it could be more susceptible. But around the windows, it's going to be completely encapsulated. What I'm going to do is rip these. These are 5.5 inches right now. I'm going to rip these down, take 1.5 inches off. That'll leave me about 4 inches, a little bit less. So the 4 inches will go flat against the building. And then that 1.5 inches that I'm going to rip off of it, that'll go on edge around the outside of the flat part. All right, now that that all makes complete perfect sense, let's get going on the corners, get that done, because for the window trim, I need to go back to Red Moose Ranch and rip a bunch of those fence boards. I have everything I need here for the corners, so let's get to work. Okay, I'm going to call the front of the cabin the finished side. So as you're standing in front of the cabin and looking at it, I want to see a whole board in the corners. That way it's more of a finished look from the front. And I'm going to leave this bottom about 1/4 inch above this metal, because I don't want to trap any water under there or anything like that. Okay, there's the finished product right there. Now we just have to do this 3 more times. Okay, all the corner trim is on. Let's go back to Red Moose Ranch, use the table saw that's in the barn. That way we can rip these fence boards down, finish up this window trim. Okay, let's get to work. Well, there's a chance of rain in the next few hours, so nice to get in the barn. Here, I'll show you what we're doing. So I have the stack of fence boards right here. Got the table saw set up. So I got the fence set up 3.5 inches. So that means our excess, our little strip that we have left over, will be about 1 5/8 inches, which is great. It's okay if it's longer than 1.5 inches. It doesn't really matter, does it? All right, let's get these running through here. I have 20 of them. That'll take care of all my 3-footers because I'll be able to get 2 out of each 8-foot board. And then my 5-footers, I'll have to sacrifice 1 8-footer for a 5-footer. That all makes sense? All right, let's get cutting. Doesn't that smell good? Can you smell that fresh cedar? Now? Okay, get it all cut. Let's load up and head on over. Okay, the first step in this process, I'm going to put a board underneath here, flush with the sides. And then the ones on the side will start flush with the top and run all the way down flush with the bottom of this board. So I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 windows that are this long, 35.5 inches. So I'm gonna cut these in bulk. So I'm gonna cut 4 of these right away and then start putting them on the cabin. Okay, even though I have all 4 of these cut for the windows, I'm gonna measure and cut the sides for all of these 3x3 foot windows. That way I can work on one window at a time so I don't have to move the hose around and whatnot. 39 1/16. $39 1/16. So I'll need 8 of those. Let's get cutting. I think I told you I needed 8 of these legs. Actually, I need 12 because the 5-foot windows, 5 feet across, these vertical legs are the same. So there's 12 of them cut. I'm ready to put them on. 42 and a half, a heavy 42 and a half. So this one, 4 more. Okay, I'm gonna caulk this. Not right now though. It's about 4 o'clock and it's about 35 degrees out. For the rest of today, it's not supposed to get any cooler. The good news is tomorrow, sunny and 45. If that's the case, we're not only gonna caulk this tomorrow, I'm gonna stain it as well. All right, the first phase of this window is done. Now I just have to put the 2 1x2s on each side on edge. So now let's cut those 1x2s. They're just gonna be exactly the height of the whole trim. 42 and a half. Before I put the lap siding on, I will flash the top of every window. Until I get caulk on there, that's all we can do. Before we head out of here, let's do one more window since I have all the parts cut. Nails. Those nail guns work better with nails. Okay, another one wrapped up. Okay, everything's cut for all the windows down here. Don't have the 2x on that end. Don't have the trim cut for that one. Don't even have the window over here. So everything's done down here. Everything's cut, ready to go. Ooh, pushing 5 o'clock. It's getting dark. It's foggy. All right, I'm gonna call this a wrap for me for tonight. So I'll see you in the morning. You'll see me in just a couple seconds. Wait, that's not really fair. Stick around. I'll be right back. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Almost have this one wrapped up. And 3 more windows on this level. It's supposed to be nice today. It is supposed to be 45 and partly sunny. If it ever gets here, I'm gonna caulk this stuff and maybe even stain it. We'll see what the weather holds. All right, well, I'm gonna keep working. There's that blue sky they were talking about. Come over here, blue sky. Everything down low is finished. And it goes pretty quick when you have everything cut already. Now I see no blue sky. They're wrong, go figure. One more window to go. That 2x2 up there, that won't take long. Let's tackle that real quick. Once that's finished, then I think I'll caulk. It's not too bad out right now. All right, well, let's get to work. Well, not only did I get the window trim on, but you probably saw I snuck a little caulking in. Yeah, you didn't want to watch me caulk. I mean, what's more boring than watching me caulk? Maybe watching the caulk dry? Yeah, it looks good. I actually have just about the whole bottom done. I ran out of caulk. I need to run back and get one more tube, but I'm not going to hold everything up for one more tube of caulk. So let me show you what I did. Basically, I caulked every seam that I created with this trim. You can see there, inside there, up on top. The only place I did not caulk around the windows, underneath the bottom of the trim, just in case any moisture gets in there somewhere. I want it to be able to get out. But I did do even the butt joints, like this corner. I know it looks pretty bad right now, but that caulk actually takes stain very well. So that'll all look good and clean up nicely. You know, I'm no meteorologist. I don't think it's partly sunny. Call me nutty. So have you ever heard of anyone using fence boards for stuff like this? It's such a viable option. I think it's a great option. So the only thing you have to really watch out for with those fence boards, sometimes they're 5/8 of an inch thick, and because of quality control, probably one reason they're cheaper, sometimes they'll be a little thinner, sometimes a little thicker. So you just have to pay attention to that. But for something like a cabin in the middle of nowhere, it's perfect. We're ready for siding. Maybe we'll get the siding on next time. We still got to take care of some groundwork here, like that dead tree right there, Karen's favorite tree. We got to take that thing down, clean up some other debris and dead branches and whatnot that's laying around. So there's a possibility we could do that. Oh, before I forget, I have a question for you guys. Typically, when you watch YouTube videos, do you watch them on your phone, a pad, a computer, or a TV? Just drop me a note. Let me know which one you watch YouTube videos on. I'm curious. We were talking about that the other day, and I said, well, why don't I just ask? So I'm asking. Okay, that's all. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Come back next week. We'll have some more fun again. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, be happy, be good to each other, and we'll see you soon.